Hello, folks. Welcome back. This part of the tutorial now that we're going to be talking about is basically on strings. We're going to revisit C strings and then the string object. Hopefully, you will learn a lot from this one tutorial. The strings are something else in C++. There's so many things you can do. And of course, strings is what we can see visually on a screen. So it is good that we master the ability to do things with C++. So let's go ahead and do through the magic of copy paste. Here is my character functions and examples in C++. I'm gonna include CC type. This is a requirement for the functions that I'm gonna using for this first example. Of course, I got my standard, my namespace standard. So I'm gonna make a character, CH, and I'm gonna see out enter a character from the alphabet, and I'm gonna get CH. And then if it's alphanumeric, I'm gonna put great. You put in a character and here it is. If it's not, I'm gonna put an error message, right? So I'm gonna run this and it says enter a character. If I put in the number 4, it says sorry, can't gotta be between A and Z. Let's do it again. This time I'm gonna do the letter R, and great, the character is R. So it says pointers here. That's not because I'm using the same screen as I usually use. Okay, and don't think that it's not working correctly. It's actually a little template that I use for my programs. So I can do the same with other functions to try, like it's alphanumeric. If it's digit, instead of it's alpha, I can do is digit. And great. So only 0 through 9, right? So let's try it again. And I'm gonna go here. If I put a letter now, it's gonna say, no, I do between 0 and 9. If I do a number like 3, it says great, the number is 3. So some of the other functions that we can use, alphanumeric is alpha or numeric. If it's only digit, if it's a lowercase, if it's an uppercase, is it a punctuation, or if it's a space, right? All these functions work the same way. It will tell me, it will give me true if the digit that I do for the character is what it's supposed to be. Again, digit, alphanumeric, lowercase, uppercase, and I'll do one more if it's if is lower. Okay, great. And if not, sorry, only lower case letters. And so I'm going to do run. And if I put in a capital R, it says, nope, can't do that. Do it again. Now I'm going to do lowercase t, and perfect. Now it works fine. So that's how you use those functions. Just put in is true if it's what it is. It's very, very simple. Okay. Now I'm going to do another example. And this is character functions in C++, checks a specific format. Now, this is what I did here for this example. What I wanted to do is to validate a number, right? So I'm going to use CC type again. So I'm going to do a Boolean. This is a function. It's going to receive a character, and I'm going to call it test CDL. I live in California in the United States, and driver's license here have a letter and then 7 numbers. So this is going to tell me if this is true. And then std. I'm going to go to the function before I go to the main. I have my integer of the size equals 8. S is for size. Then if is alpha of 0, return false. If not, see here it is. If not, see that little exclamation point. If not is alpha of 0, return false. It has, because the first character must be a letter. So I'm testing if it's not an alphanumeric, give me a false. Then for the rest of the numbers, I'm checking to see if they're not digits. If not, remember that the exclamation point means not. So if not is digit, if it's not a number, return false. So what I'm testing here is to see if the first one is a letter and the rest of them are numbers. Now we go to the program. I do 9 characters. I make my array of the driver's license, enter a valid driver's license, and then I'm gonna do a test. And if it's the way it should be, then we're good. All right, so let's do this. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, great. I enter a valid driver's license because it's the format. What if it wasn't? Let's say I do A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 6. So there's my 9, right? Nope, it's invalid. See? So again, I'm asking for, I have my driver's license, and then I'm testing my driver's license. I'm gonna get line the number, and I'm gonna test it and give an error. And the test is if the first character is not an alphanumeric, then it's wrong. And if the remainder numbers are not digits, any of them, it returns false. For each one, it doesn't matter which one it is, it will return false. Otherwise, you just keep on going, right? So that's how this this is an example of using is alpha and is digit. Pretty straightforward. All right. Now I'm going to do an example with the to upper. So again, I'm using CC type, include CC type. Here, input character and my X, here's my char. So I do C out, enter a number, X, and then I say X square is X times X. Do you want to do it again? Send double to CH. Now, this is the main purpose of this program, is to test this right here. While to upper equals Y. So I'm converting this CH here to upper, and I'm comparing it to the letter Y. As long as this is true, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'm going to put in 4. 4 times 4 is 16 again. I'm going to put the letter Y. Sure, okay. 2. Great. The moment I put no, it stops. And that's how you do a loop where you say again yes or no. This right here, to upper, comparing it to Y, and here's where I'm getting the letter. So it's a do while example, perfect example for making loops until you tell it that it's not no more, right? No more. So it's pretty straightforward. I like it. Now I'm going to do another example. Here we're testing digits, by the way. So here's my CC type, namespace std. I have a void menu. So menu doesn't return anything. It's an empty function. Let's see what the function does. See out area calculator, number 1, area of a triangle, area of a rectangle, area of a circle, and the program, and that's it. I'm asking for a number between 1 and 4. If it's 4, it should end, okay? All right, now let's go back to the program. It looks a little bit more lengthy. I'm gonna have one const, which is pi, 3.1415969268. I'm gonna do a character for again, and then an option. And then I have doubles A, B, and C. I'm gonna use those. So here's my do while. First thing I do if I call my menu, remember menu, all it does is displace this. That's all it does. And then I'm gonna input into option. If it's a digit, remember between 1 and 4, it'll do this. If not, I'll say error, must select the number. Again is equal to nothing, and I'm gonna ask if again equals to nothing, again, yes, no, and I'm gonna input again. Again equals to upper again, and then this is gonna loop while again is equal to Y. I'll go more in detail on this in a bit. But let's say it is 1 through 4. If it's 1, it'll enter the side because it's the, we're calculating triangles, rectangles, and circles. That's just calculating the area. Just basic stuff. As for one side, the other side, here's the formula. This is the other formula. Of course, and notice how in all of them I say again equals blank. Here's my again equals blank. Once it's done, I do this. If again equals blank, ask. Okay. Here, because remember from the switch, outside of the switch, if it's digit, do the switch. But what if it's not? It goes to else. And then I'm saying, hey, it's blank. See, I'm doing that again. So basically, I'm forcing people to do a 1 through 4. At the same time, I'm asking again, yes or no. So there's the code. I'm going to slowly scroll so you can see the code. And now let's see this in action. Let's see how it works. So there's my area calculator, area triangle. I'm going to put 1. Sure, what's the side? 2, 3, and there's my area. Again, yes, no. I'm going to put yes. And it's going to ask me again. Now I'm going to do 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, and there's my area. Now I'm going to do 3. Oh, yes. And I'm going to do 3. And the radius is 4, and then it gives me the area. It automatically knows pi. No, boom, it ends. See? That's how this works. So again, we have a do. I call the options. If it's a digit, do the switch. I don't need to do the little bracket because switch is just one command. Now after the switch, I got my bracket, so I do that. But if it didn't go through the switch, I go to the else. And it might say, no, error, you must enter a number. So, and this is how that looks. If I would have put in no, because, oh, I don't want to do it anymore. Error, you must select a number. Again, yes, no, oh, I meant no. Okay, see, now it ends. So that's how I went around to do this to make sure that it will ask again. And then the number 4 ends. Now, check this out. I'm going to do this. Let's say I say 4, end program. It ends. Why didn't it ask me again? Because if it's 4, I'm saying again equals n. All the other ones, it was a blank here equals n and x. Then I go here, right? This is the else. So it's jumping that. Is it blank? Do this, but it's not blank, it's n. So boom, it goes over here. And again, this is gonna give me a false because it's not equal to y equals to n. So there you have it. Pretty straightforward program, easy, very cool. Now let's do a example of C strings. So here's my IO stream. Now I'm gonna do C string, not CC type, C string. I'm using namespace std, int main. Now I have a lot of erasure. So here it is. My str is welcome to C++, str1 equals hello, world, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And B doesn't have any value. Here's an integer. And then I got character S1 and S2. Yeah. So what I'm doing is X equals strlen of my str. Strlen gives me the length of a string, and it's included in the C string. Okay. So the length of str is X. Now I'm going to do str1 and str2, and then I'm going to concatenate str1 and str2. Then I'm going to display str1, and then I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to copy B into A. A into B, and I'm going to display them. Then I'm going to compare 1 and 2. S1 is this, and S2 is that. It should be okay. So Let's run this. The length of my str is 14. Hello plus world is hello world. Here's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 6 is the same as 1 through 6 over here, right? So again, I'm gonna slowly show the program and the end of the program. So those are functions strcpy and strcat and strcmp, string compare, string copy, string concatenate. All of them are included in C string. So that's a nice little bunch of formulas that you got there you can use. All right. Now I'm going to have an example here where I use cstdlib. Look at this. This is new. We're going back to string. We've seen string before, right? It's our string object, and I'm going to use cstdlib. So I have a C string array S1. The number's 12, and then I have string S2 with the number 15. Here's a string because it's an array of characters, and here's an object. And I'm saying int x equals string to integer S1 plus string to integer of S2, and I'm displaying x. So this is a string, a C string with the number 12. This is an object with the number 15, and I'm adding it up. So here the main thing is this, STOI, okay? I'm gonna run it, and there it is, 27. Again, going over the explanation of this. Let's see if I can see the whole screen at one time. There it is. Again, cstdlib is used for STOI, string to integer, okay? And we also have string to float and string to long and all that. So, you know, those functions are included in stdlib. String is only here for the object string S2, just for that. But the point here is that you can enter either one, C string or an object, and STOI will work just fine. Just awesome. Now, a little bit of function overloading. What is function overloading? Function overloading is when you have multiple functions with the same name. They can have different amount of parameters, or they can have different types of variable types, okay? For example, let's say I want to add 2 numbers, and I need another function that would add 3 numbers. I mean, I could do function add 1 and then function add 2 and function add 3, but in C++, we can do this by doing overloading, which is this. Here I have add with 2 parameters, int, and then add with 3 parameters, int. So C++, when I call the function add, it will know which one to call. So here's int, it adds a plus b, and here is int, and it adds a plus b plus c. And here I have my x and y. I basically call them up and print them out. So there is the answer. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. Okay. So again, I have 2 functions with the same name, but different amount of parameters. I could have done one that says int add, and I can put double comma double. That's also overloading. Okay. So in fact, I think that's my next example. Let's check it out. And yep, indeed, it's the same thing. Here's int add, but here's add with doubles, double, double, and double. So what happens is I made double variables here, and it works the same as the previous example. The only difference is I can either call an integer or a double. Y is a double, right there it is, right, is declares the double. So C++ will automatically call the double function, while X is an integer, it'll call the integer function. So see this in op and how it works. And there it is. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 1 plus 2 equals 3.75. So it didn't put the decimals on that. But I will do this here, C, and that's D there. It did the right thing here, okay, C and D, so don't think I made a mistake on that. I just did a little typo. And there it is. Now it is 1.5 plus 2.25 is 375, or 1 plus 2 is 3. So what I've done here, I put A and B, but it's C and D, which here was properly. So the calculations were correct. I just had a little mistype there, typing too fast. But anyways, that's also overloading. See the same function name, but different types of parameters. These are doubles and these are ints. The other example, I had 2 and then 3. And I can have as many. I can have, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can have double, 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 double 5 times and longs, and it doesn't matter. It's overloading. So it's pretty good. Okay, now we're going to do this here. I'm going back to CC type, this time with string, the string object. Let's look at this example. Here's an average calculator. So I'm gonna have t equals 0 and count equals 0, and then my double for my average, and my string str. String is my object. So average calculator, remember the /n gives you a new line. Type a number or Q to quit. Get line, and I'm gonna do sin str. So I'm gonna enter something. While to upper of the first one is not equal to Q, I'm gonna convert this. I'm gonna string to integer str. I'm going to increment my counter, and then I'm going to do it again. And it's going to loop until I type the letter Q. When I type the letter Q, it's going to get out. Because I'm incrementing my counter, now I'm saying, look, while the counter is not equal to 0, static cast double T and divided by count. Now, why am I using the static cast? We covered this on the first chapter of my tutorials. Remember, I'm forcing these integers to become a double. Why? Why am I doing that? Because the moment I divide, see, I can put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But the moment I divide it by 10, I get a number that is not a whole number. I get decimals. So I'm telling, hey, average is double, so make it a double and then display it. Okay, so let's do this. I'm gonna do, if I do 1, 2, 3, and then quit, the average is 2. Nope, no problem there. But what if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I do quit? Now the average is 4. Great. I want to get a fraction and I'm not getting it. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 7, 9, 10 divided by 4. Quit. 2.5. Perfect. See, now it's doing me 2.5. I was trying to get the right numbers there, but it wouldn't get it to me. So that's how this example works. Here's the main code. Perfect. Okay. Let's do another example. This is a short example. My object is string. I'm declaring 2 objects, str1, str2, enter a 9-digit number. str1 is the number that is getting the number. Now, I'm telling you what this example is going to do. It's going to convert a social security number into the social security number with the dashes, right? It's going to put the position. And I'm using the sub str that's included with string. When you declare an object with string, you can do this. And here's the I'm adding. See, I can add them up like that. So let's do this. It's pointer. I'm going to put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 social security numbers. And then it formats it to 1, 2, 3-45-6, 7, 8, 9. That's how a social security number is usually formatted in that way. So there it is. Again, when you declare an object with string, you can do dot sub str. You're doing it's a function of a member of the object. So I'm doing the positioning, and then I'm adding a dash, and then this plus equal means concatenate. str2 is my new social security number, right? That is my new social security number right there. Very straightforward example. It's another way of doing formatting when you're using objects. In this following example, I'm going to do some appending. So I got IOStream, and here's my string object again. Now, what I've done, this example here is different ways, 4 different ways of inserting a character to a string, okay? And here's the 4 functions that I'm using. And over here, I'm doing cout, adding a character to a string, pushback method, the plus equal method, the pen method, and the insert method. All these will add a character to a string. So let's go over each one of the functions. The pushback example, here's hello world, and then a ch is d, right? I want to do hello world. That's missing the letter d. This is a string. This is a character. And I can do str, and then again, a function of a member function of the string object. I can do pushback ch, and then it'll add the d to world. The plus equal example, same variables. I do plus equal ch, and remember, when you do plus equal, it's like doing the same as str equals str plus. So you can add a character just straight from here. I can just add it to that, and it'll work just fine. The append example, I'm using again another function that's built in, str.append, and it'll add 1 character, and it'll be the letter ch, which is d. It'll add it to the world, so it become world. And then over here, finally, with the insert example, I'm gonna insert, I'm gonna obtain the length. Now here's the length right here. It's another function right there, 1 and comma ch. So it's basically gonna go to the end and add it. All these examples will do the same thing. So if I run it, hello world in a row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 methods of adding a string to a character to a string. The insert way, the append way, the plus equal way, and the pushback way. All of them work just fine. It's just a preference on which one you want to use. I cannot think, there might be some C++ program out there that is going to tell me, oh, there's a particular situation where you can only use this. Maybe I've personally never come across that. So as far as I'm concerned, they all work just the same. Okay, and then now we're gonna go, you knew it, pointers. You know it. Can't do C++ for too long without coming up with a pointer. So I'm not gonna use any special objects or anything. I'm just gonna use the IOStream. But here is my count function, char pointer, and then char. So I'm getting a function. This is my function prototype. Again, before I do the main, let's go to the function. And I have a counter equals to 0. Here's my pointer, strptr, and then ch. This is a string, this is a character. And I am saying while pointer to strptr not equal to null, in other words, I'm going to go through the whole length of the string, because the strings always end in a slash, with a null, with a 0. So I'm going to go through the whole character, which I got right here. And while it's not equal to 0, if any of the characters equals the character, I'm going to increase my counter, and I'm going to return my counter. And I'm going to increase right here my pointer position, and can increment the pointer position. So what I'm doing, basically, I have a string and I have a character right here. So here's my size, my string, C string, and then here's my character. I'm going to enter the value. I'm going to get it, and then I'm going to ask for a character, and I'm going to tell you how many times the letter is there. So if I run the program, let's say I put in United United States of America, and I'm going to look for the letter A. It appears 2 times in States and lowercase America. Now, notice that it's only doing the lowercase. Let's do this again. That's only because of how I did it. Let's say United States of America. And I'm going to look for the letter A. Now it says 3 times. And the reason why I got different values is because the first time it was America with a capital A and lowercase a. In my function here, I'm only looking for the character. I'm not doing a 2 upper or 2 lower. I could have done 2 upper or 2 lower. I just decided not to, but you can always incorporate that into this, and then it will calculate whether they're lowercase or uppercase. In this case, I wanted to just count the letters that are matching, and that's it. Okay. I mean, before I even send it to the function, I could have just right here, I could have just sent the 2 upper of this and 2 upper of that. You know, it doesn't matter. I could have done it, but I'm not doing it in this case. And I got one final example for my strings tutorial, and here it is. I'm using the object string again because I'm declaring str1 and str2 equals Ray. Here's my name. My name is Ray, by the way. Okay, guess what name I'm thinking about. Of course, I know I'm putting it right here, but you know, if you were a user, did not know that. I'm entering a number, I'm sorry, a name, and then if they match, great, you know my name. Otherwise, oops, try again. I'm not gonna do this game forever, because if you're somewhere where the name Ray doesn't exist, yeah. So if I put Eddie, it says nope, that's not it. But what if I put in Ray? Yep, you got my name. See, that works. So I'm basically here, I am comparing str1 and str2. There's the double equal sign. So that's the comparison. So that's it for the strings tutorial in C++. I hope you liked it. And if you do, well, you know what to do. I really appreciate if you subscribe and like my video. And if you haven't, check out the other parts of the tutorial, because this is like part, it's not 8 or 9, I can remember, but it's this, you know, I'm done a series on C++. If you watch all the tutorials and if you see the WordPress blog, you know, you'll get a better understanding of C++. Thank you again, and until next time.